And welcome back to another devotion. I am Pastor Roy Carlin here at Woodlawn Christian Church in Lake City, Iowa, and this devotion is for Tuesday, September 2nd of 2025. We are in the book of Acts, and we're in chapter 21. Today we're going to tackle verses 27 to 36, and this is a section called Paul Arrested in the Temple, which tells you what's going to happen today. He's going to get arrested. Remember that last week on Thursday we left off with Paul being in the temple. He's going through a Nazirite ritual. He's sponsoring some other men in the same ritual. And they're going through that at the behest of James. Paul has come with hat in hand, perhaps, if you will, trying to reconcile with James and the other apostles, trying to get all and make it all good, make it all work out. And James it seems to be agreeative to this, if that's a word. I made it up if not. He seems to be in agreement with this reconciliation, but he wants Paul to go through this ritual of this Nazirite ritual as penitence, if you will, for whatever's been going on. And Paul, again, is paying for these other gentlemen to go through it as well. So Paul's just about done with this now. He's gone through this time of fasting and sacrifice and all of that. Fulfilling this vow, Nazirite vow, is what he's doing. And then we're going to come in and mess it all up. Let's talk about that. Chapter 21 in the book of Acts, verses 27 to 36. When the 7 days were almost completed, the Jews from Asia, who had seen him in the temple, stirred up all the crowd and laid hands on him, crying out, "Men of Israel, help! This is the man who is teaching men everywhere against the people and the law and this place. Moreover, he also brought Greeks into the temple, and he has defiled the holy place." For they had previously seen Trophimus, the Ephesian, with him in the city, and they supposed that Paul had brought him into the temple. Then all the city was aroused, and the people ran together. They seized Paul, and they dragged him out of the temple, and at once the gates were shut. And as they were trying to kill him, word came to the tribune of the cohort that all Jerusalem was in confusion. He at once took soldiers and centurions and ran down to them. And when they saw the tribune and the soldiers, they stopped beating Paul. Then the tribune came up and arrested him, and ordered him to be bound with 2 chains. He inquired who he was and what he had done. Some of the crowd shouted one thing, some another, and as he could not learn the facts because of the uproar, he ordered him to be brought into the barracks. And when he came to the steps, he was actually carried by the soldiers because of the violence of the crowd, for the mob of the people followed, crying, "Away with him!" Okay, off with his head, if you will. The crowd is out to get Paul. Because of the violence of the crowd, well, Paul's been beaten up so much he can't walk, apparently, or not well anyway. He's stumbling, perhaps, a little bit concussed, perhaps, a little dazed by all the beating. But at any rate, we have these Jews from Asia. Now, we don't know if they're members of the Way, followers of the Way, believe in Jesus as the Messiah, or if they're just regular Jews. We don't really know. Lots of times it's assumed that these are some of the same people that have been following Paul around as he's going around. He talks about it in his letters. These believers that are causing problems for him, the Judaizers, if you will, is what we often are called. But we're not 100% sure about that. We kind of think they are, but it could be that they're just regular Jews of whatever sect of Judaism they follow that have heard that Paul is selling this brand of Jewish light, as I talk about it. And they would, there were plenty of the people that were not followers of the Way were agitated at Paul as well. So it could be that was the way it was. Not really important, though, is it? Here we have Paul. He's sponsored these other men. They're almost done with this. And the reason he sponsored that was, again, to reconcile with the other apostles, particularly James. That was the main goal of going through that whole thing, was to reconcile with James the Just, who, in my opinion, and other people's opinions, was actually the leader of the Jews, or the Jews for Jesus, if you will, the Messianic movement there, the Way, whatever title we want to call it. That he was really the one that was the head honcho, if you will, that after Jesus' death it had fallen to James to lead the movement. And Paul and James seem to be coming to a reconciliation. And then you've got these guys come in here and stir it all up and make a mess of it all. And this is the life story for this happens to us too. We can be in personal relationships, church relationships, business relationships, and almost be the point of having worked out our differences. We see politics as well, world politics, even beyond our national or local politics. We see global politics. We see this happen, and two parties are just about ready to come to an agreement and fix what's been broken, if you will, and somebody else just doesn't want to see that, and so they come in and they blow the whole mess up. We just got to realize that we can't be doing that, and let's certainly not be the one that is the person that comes in and blows the whole mess up, because we can be guilty of that ourselves as well. That we don't want to see these two parties reconciled. We want to keep this thing in contention for whatever reason. Let's not be like that. That's not what's proper. That's not the way we should be behaving as good Christians. We need to be peacemakers. We need to be bringing the broken back together. That's the whole thing about Jesus, folks, is the brokenness of mankind, that Jesus is here to reconcile that. He's the reconciler. Let's remember that. Okay, I'm going to leave you off right there today, and we're going to pick up at verse 37 tomorrow and go through 40 tomorrow. Okay, or not tomorrow, but Thursday. Excuse me, I misspoke. I'll be back Thursday. All right, and with that, have a blessed day. Be a blessing to someone today. If you like this devotion, please like and subscribe. If you want to make a kind comment, please make a kind comment below. Take care. We'll see you later. God bless you. God loves you. Bye-bye.